including Associate Dean for Executive Education and the Chairperson of the Department of Marketing, and contributing to both academic leadership and research excellence. His research sits at the intersection of consumer welfare, brand activism, technology-driven consumer behavior, and digital influence, with over 30 publications in leading ABDC, particularly A and A star journals, and approximately 2,200 citations. His work spans across influencer marketing, consumer well-being and anti-consumption, sponsorship, consumer technology, interactions, and advertising effects, and has made a sustained scholarly impact. He is consistently ranked among the top 50 marketing researchers in India and serves on the editorial boards of several reputable journals, including Springer, Nature, Emerald, and Wiley titles. He has also served on the academic boards of national institutions, including Central University of Jharkhand, XIM University, and IRMA. So his intellectual contributions include numerous international conference presentations, 2 books, several high-impact case studies, and extensive PhD mentoring and guiding multiple doctoral scholars who now serve as faculty at India's premier institutions, including IIMs, IITs, and XLRI. So having introduced all the 3 wonderful editors, so please join me all. So with that, so I'm going to ask 4 questions to start with, and then they will have time about 3 to 4 minutes for each question. In the end, audience will have opportunities for Q&A. So once again, thank you, again for being here, and let us begin our conversation on how to move from ideas to impact through successful journal publications. The first question, so what really makes a paper stand out? So how we can, prepare a manuscript that really catches the eyes of first the editor-in-chief or associate editor and the reviewers, and obviously in the end, or eventually in the end, the readers. So let us start with or anyone can start.
Thank you very much, Professor Puna. Good afternoon to everyone. This is a very relevant question, and especially whenever a early career researcher or a mid-career or even a pro researcher also sees and start writing a paper. So on that particular context, they need to see a few important things what actually the editors or the associate editors are seeing. So before starting it, I'll just give you a small brief about how the process goes. So when you submit a paper, then it will go to the at first a desk. So in the desk they will check that if everything is fine or not, the properly have done or not, any plagiarism is there or not. So then the editor reads the paper, and if he finds it is well, then only he sends this particular paper to associate editor. So the associate editors are from different areas. So they are area masters, and they are actually seeing those paper once again, and they are trying to call the reviewers. Now the reviewers are also from that particular area only, and then the reviewers accept the papers, and then the paper goes under the review. Any point of time, if the associate editor feels this paper is not up to the mark, he can reject it without sending it to the reviewers also. Even the editor can do it also. So this is the process mostly follows by all the journals. Now on the context of the innovative thinking, when you start writing a paper, so the most important part is the concept development and what new or what is the contribution or what is the novelty you are going to talk about. So unless and until you give the novelty, unless and until you give the contribution, so it is very difficult to pass the desk. So on that particular context, whatever you are writing or whatever you are actually trying to say, the concept wise as well as theory wise, need to be very, very unique in nature. Like I give an example, suppose a particular theory, if you are using, suppose technology acceptance model or UTAUT theory, which has been used in the technology adoption domains. So on that particular context, we see that this kind of theories have been overused by professors or the researchers so many times. So till today also, if you're using that particular same theory, might be the top journals which are ranked in ABDC A and A star or ABS level also 2 and 3, so they will not accept it. So on that particular context, you need to find out something uniqueness on the theory also, mostly the latest theories, latest findings, whatever has been done by the top journals. Now you cannot take the theories from any of the papers. So there are some journal categories are there. Most of the theories has to be taken from our top journals. Top means like the ABDC ranking, if I go A or A star, ABS ranking, you go around ABS 3, 4 or 4 star. So from here on, you need to just think about the theory, and then only you can mix that particular theory with your concept, whatever you are trying to propose. Secondly, the most important part is you need to know about the integration of the theories also. Sometimes what happened, one particular theory doesn't say everything about all the constructs, whatever you are trying to talk about. So you can integrate 2 or 3 theories also on that particular context to make it more novelty, but it should not be forced. If it is coming properly, then only you should integrate it. And the third point, which is most important point, which I feel that people are not reading the editorials. If you want to get a new idea, a fresh idea, you should read the editorials of the top journals. So over there, they come up with the different new concepts, different new ideas, which you can actually implement on this particular context. And another important point on this particular juncture, that is the references. Suppose if you are writing a paper for a ABS 3 level journal, and you are putting up all the papers as a reference from ABS 1, ABS 2, and on that. Suppose you are writing for an IT journal, but you are quoting most of the papers from the marketing journal. So then there is a conflict. So on that particular context, you need to understand whatever the references you are also adding over here, that need to be area specific and the journal specific. Suppose if you're going for ABS 3, go at least ABS 3 and more than that, ABS 4, ABS 4 star, on those kind of things. So these are the most important points which I believe is very, very needed to know, and you should work on these areas.
Thank you, Professor.
Let me just add to what Professor Debarun just mentioned. And this is something which, again, I remember Harold Bloom's work of anxiety, because he's already talked about so many things which are very relevant. So I may sound repetitive, but I must say that. And one thing which is extremely important for any author is to show what is the novelty of this work. What is the contribution made by this particular manuscript? The manuscript doesn't really show what it contributes. And when we talk about contribution, it's also about the length to contribution ratio. What is the length of the paper and what contribution made by this manuscript? And contribution could be in terms of a theoretical model, which is very, very scarce these days. We don't see many papers actually are presenting theoretical models or conceptual frameworks, which could really lead other researchers to start new research, could foster new directions in research. That's not happening. So that is an area of concern. And I always look for those kind of papers which are making advancement in theory. And that is something is very difficult to find by. Second is how exactly the authors have taken a topic which is timely and relevant. It has to be really timely, whether it's really based on a burning issue, something really bothers the researchers, bothers the practitioners at this point in time. For example, anything which is based on Gen AI. And we believe that Gen AI is something which is like a boon, something which is doing wonders. But we also look at the flip side. We also see that it's not something which is all that great. And maybe we look at whether it also leads to something like anxiety of the consumers, whether it really fosters or abates some sort of consumer vulnerability, or it really contributes to consumer efficiency. Does it really lower the dignity of the consumers or human beings at large? So these are the issues perhaps not many researchers would look at. They all look at the brighter side of it. So if a researcher has written a paper which is based on these aspects, which are not sort of a dominant view, then I would also be very interested in that. And that is why we say that any research which talks about the darker side of management, the darker side of marketing, the darker side of maybe strategy. So I think this is something that also will definitely stand out. And the methodologies, not to forget about the methodologies. If I see that somebody has used a